April 30th. I mean, really? We got a rooster crowing, you can hear him. I might have to plow. How much is there?
I could use a few more chickens, laying hens to be precise. I'm saving all my farm money and gardening income for a special project. So I'm not gonna just buy eggs to hatch or chicks. And I think using money to solve problems or to just get something you want when you want it stifles creativity. I think it's a good cognitive and creative and intellectual process to find ways to solve your problems without just throwing money at it. So, with that context and needing a few more chickens, what's a gardener to do? And so, well, let's look at it. I have to introduce you to two major influences I've had. The first is Joel Salatin of Polyface Farms. He's an American farmer whose mission, according to his website, is to develop environmentally, economically, and emotionally enhancing agricultural prototypes and facilitate their duplication throughout the world. He also has a lot of very good books, and I think I've read all of his things. I will link the one you should start with down below. All right, I'll tell you about the other influence next, but let's stick with Joel for a minute. Joel Salatin talks about letting pigs express their pigness and chickens their chickenness. He lets the pigs be the plows that turn over soil, and the pigs love it. He also uses them to turn his compost. He lets the chickens be the farm hygiene team. They do pest control, and they are the little rototillers when they need to be. They also, obviously, in their wake, leave dropped fertilizer and have another, well, they eat the bugs out of the poops, they eat a lot of bugs, and they do a good job cleaning things up. Not only do they drop soil-improving fertilizer out their backsides, they forage for their own food, so you don't need to bring it to them or buy it. And most importantly, you can tell the animals love every minute of it. And that makes a truly win-win situation. The animal wins, the farmer wins, and the customer of the animal products wins. So that's Joel. We know animals can do a lot of great work on the farm, and we know that they produce good results doing it. So the last piece of the puzzle is from a book called The One Straw Revolution, and I'll leave a link below to the one I read. It's by Masanobu Fukuoka, and my version was translated by Larry Korn. Masanobu Fukuoka is a Japanese self-proclaimed do-nothing farmer, which really means instead of the modern style of asking, what can I add to fix this? He asks, what can I take away or stop doing that could fix this? It's another must-read book, and I'll link it below. You can also probably find it at a library. Okay, there's one part of the book where he talks about the production of the modern hen. I don't remember exactly what it is. I feel like my birds can make 280 eggs a year if they get the right nutrients and light. But he makes the point that to have these high-end results, you need to use expensive processed foods to do it. And I remember a part of the book where he's wondering, would it not be better to return to the way they used to do it? The way nature worked with naturalized chickens from his area. They used to have these chickens, and you'd release a rooster and a few hens into a underused woodlot or area of your farm, and then when the dry season set in, they would wander back to the farm with a collection of dozens of young birds they raised. The cost to your time is nothing, and the cost to your pocketbook is nothing. Masanobu Fukuoka had no feed costs, no livestock costs, and I assert he would have had a much more resilient bird that, due to its naturalized diet and consumption of insects, would be surely more nutritious in meat, bone, and egg products. Okay, so back to my farm. I want a few more chickens. Did I just let my birds go into the woods? No. We have so many predators here, and chickens aren't naturalized to our area. I'm not saying create a new invasive from your chickens. What I did do was kind of something in the middle. I thought, what could I do, or what could I not do, in order to get the result I want? So I called my friend, and I borrowed her rooster. And that's it. So here's the problems it solves. It didn't cost anything. I was going to visit my friend anyway. I just used a cardboard box, a big one, to transport the rooster, and introduced him to my hens and kept an eye on him. It's still a little early in the season. We have snow on the ground. We had a storm roll through. I don't know if they're doing what they were supposed to be doing in there, but we will find out. And if I have to borrow the rooster again for a week or two, then I can do that. The other thing, besides the cost, was the exercise of thinking about this. And I really wanted the chickens to do the work. So I wanted the chickens to make the egg, incubate the egg, and then take care of the chicks. And in doing this and watching them, I would figure out which hens are better mothers. and I can start selecting for the traits I want in my own chickens, which is going to be good mothers, their ability to produce quality eggs over quantity of eggs, their obviously ability to survive the winter, and I'm also going to start selecting for the best foragers, the birds that are able to find food on their own the best. So there we go. To some deep thoughts, a little bit of a deep dive in some books I read this winter and continue to reread. I, whenever possible, typically get audio versions of books too. I think I can link to those. Because if I'm doing mindless farm work or repetitive chores, I love going out there without headphones or distractions and listening to what's going on around me. But sometimes you're doing work where you can kind of brain off and keep your hands moving, in which case I love audiobooks on farming and animals and plants and permaculture, and this is a good spot to end the video. I'll keep you in the loop about these birds.